Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining our nBird session. Gain extra hours in your day with SharePoint Online Productivity. I'm Pramod Nathan, an architect here, a solutions architect here at FMT Consultants. Thank you so much for coming. So I guess one of the first questions that you may have in your mind is, well, why am I talking to an architect? I'm here for a technology conference. Well, quite simply, I'm not an architect in the traditional sense. I am a builder of computer systems. My focus has been on SharePoint and Office 365 in terms of how to make it better and easier and faster and how to make you more productive and all of my clients more productive. We are all about taking people from clunky systems that don't talk to each other and making it something better and easier. That's really the key focus in what I try to architect on a day-to-day basis for everybody. And I try to get away from the old and the boring and try to make everything better, easier, and more awesome for everybody. So I've been a solutions architect with a SharePoint focus from the 2007 product onwards, and I'm here to help you be more productive. There is a chat window at the very bottom of this session, and you can enter your questions there. We will be answering the questions at the end of the session after we do all of our presentations and demos. Again, thank you so much for coming to this presentation, and I hope you really, really enjoy it. So, how many of us have too much work? Now, if all of you were in a room with me, I'm guessing all of your hands would go up. We face this feeling every week, every day. Hey, I'm stuck at work. Sometimes, in the evenings, sometimes on the weekends. And my family doesn't like it every now and again. I have dropped a few dinners. Sometimes I go home. I have a new kid, a 1-month-old. And sometimes my wife is not very happy that I've left her with the baby all day long. So missed family time, and we feel that pain not just at work, but we feel that at home as well. It's kind of all pervading for us. We feel chained at our desks every now and again. I myself have dropped hobbies. I used to be really, really into martial arts, and when I started off working and all of that, my posture used to be really great. Slowly but surely, my posture deteriorated because no exercise, just stuck at my desk, and now I'm a little slouched every now and again, and I'm guessing all of this has happened to you unless we take a positive approach and get higher, faster, and stronger with our solutions. We're all familiar with this really, really great photo. Usain Bolt at the Olympics. This was the semifinals, and he was just almost as if he was taking a quick evening jog. Looked over to his left and smiled at the camera while everybody else was huffing and puffing behind him. Doing things with ease was one of the things that Usain Bolt showed us, that if we have all of the right things put together, we can all do this. So at the end of this session, we hopefully will come to a place where we will do things better, quicker, and easier. How? Well, quite simply, with these tools that surround SharePoint Online. The tools that we're going to be talking about are our Olympic rings for Microsoft SharePoint Online. Sway is one of the products. The next one we're going to be looking at is Delve. Then we'll be looking at mobility. And finally, two types of workflows that are really, really excellent in terms of making us more productive on a day-to-day basis. All right. This is something we've faced a lot. I'm a little guilty about this in this session as well. But PowerPoint presentations, especially in the afternoon, right after lunch, we all go to PowerPoint sessions. Or imagine a time when you go to a PowerPoint session and you've seen 3 or 4 other PowerPoint sessions right before that, and everything is a little boring and everything is a little tiring, and now you've just had lunch and your eyes are closing. You really, really, really want to focus on what's going on, but you can't. Well, why? It's an outdated tool to actually communicate. This is the old Dave Matthews Band website. Imagine if you go to any website today and this is what you see. Would you want to interact with this type of tool? Not necessarily. If I go to the Dave Matthews Band today and I wanted to buy tickets or interact with these guys, if I saw this website, wouldn't be the best thing for me to do. Moreover, it's really difficult for me to maintain. Imagine if you wanted to put some more information on this, now you have to actually write everything from scratch. Well, there's a solution to all of this. Sway. Well, what is Sway and why should you use Sway? Well, the expectations of presentations have evolved. Now we don't just talk about presentations in pictures, but we also want video, we want audio, we want a takeaway after a presentation. We want a link at the end of the presentation to be able to go to that link and explore a little bit more. Moreover, businesses need to be personal. We don't have just that expectation of, okay, I'm going to go out and buy something and then I'm done with the interaction. No, businesses today have to have that relationship. And how do we build that relationship? Well, in the nonprofit world, this is very, very important. In order to go out and get that funding, get those donations, you need your stories and your activities that are very human. You need internal blogs to keep all of your people inside your organization working towards the same goals, and also externally to make sure that people are engaged with you. So your tools to create newsletters and personal stories, Sway gives you a single unified platform in order to do this. Internally, Sway also allows you to take all of that information and put it together into reports and presentations. So now, instead of trying to create these 4 different things in 4 different areas, you have a unified platform where all of this information comes in. And now you can go ahead and mold that information into what you want to do for different audiences quite simply. So how do we actually do this? Well, that's a very, very good question and something that we're going to go into. So let's take a look at our Sway demo. All right. So this is a blog that I have put up. Gain extra hours in your day with SharePoint Online Productivity. Hopefully some of you read this blog and were able to come to this presentation after seeing the different pieces of the blog. So quite simply, we had explained Delve, Sway, Mobility, and SharePoint and Nintex workflows. Nice way to put out information. But the actual methodology to get to this point, we had to go ahead and write a Word document, give that Word document to a marketing team. They had to format it and put it on our blog site. All of this creates some amount of time and effort to actually put together. Now, if I wanted to take this information and put it into a presentation, like I'm doing for you folks, well, that takes a little bit more effort from me to put it in a PowerPoint presentation. Again, something our marketing team did an absolutely wonderful job at. So all of these slides that you're seeing, well, that's something that they actually built out for me. Wouldn't it be really nice to And a few more things that you see with this are the ability to add tweets, Hi folks, sorry about that. I believe we had some technical difficulties about with my audio, but I believe we're all back, so happy day. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at Sway. So I talked about how I imported the Word document into this Sway tool. And the first thing that you can see is the ability to add different things that are kind of out there that you wouldn't be able to add on a typical Word document or on a typical presentation. One of the big things out here are the tweets, which more and more, which are more pervasive than than I would like to admit, because I'm not a big Twitterer myself. But in order to do that, it's quite simple. I can go to tweet over here, add a tweet, and all I need to do is maybe search for a hashtag. But Sway also does something that's quite cool. All right, so we have a few hashtags from Adnan, and we're going to go ahead and add one of those hashtags. Well, the one for me, gain extra hours with SharePoint Online Productivity. So all I need to do is capture that hashtag and push it up here. This older hashtag is a little stale, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that one. The other thing that you saw was as soon as I went to actually add sources, Sway suggested a few sources for me, which is incredible because what Sway does is it's looking at all of your presentation work and all of your documents, and it says, hey, there are these other cool things out there that you can go ahead and add. And I have taken advantage of a few of those, and I've added videos. For example, the Delve video is something that I was able to add over here. The Sway video directly from Microsoft is something that I was able to add, as well as the image that you see over here. So let's say I wanted to add something additional for Delve. Well, quite simply, I would be able to type for Delve. It also shows me that I need to respect the copyright, and in fact, you can filter this by copyrights that are available to you for free versus things that you need to pay for. So I can go ahead and take a look at the search that it brought me in. And let's say I wanted to add an additional video for Delve. I can go ahead and grab that video and paste it into the right area. In this case, my Delve blog is right here, and just go ahead and do that. And I've gone ahead and added my Delve to it. So what does this actually do for you? Well, if we go ahead and look at our preview, now I have my tweet up here. It's in a nice blog location already, or blog layout already for me. But it's got new media with it. It's not a boring old blog anymore. It has these nice headers that I can create from going into the design area. It has my videos that I can directly click on and go to the video quite simply. Very interactive, very, very different from a typical presentation or a typical blog that you see. Finally, what you can do is, say you want to change this presentation from a presentation to something that either scrolls horizontally, because a lot of people use tablets, or better yet, a presentation. Well, this final thing is an optimized tool that allows you to create presentations out of your Sway. So instead of just a blog, it's now automatically created a presentation for you from the tools that we already have. So there we go. We've gone ahead and added our Sway, and this is what the solution looks like. With our solution now, we can go ahead and directly publish this to a blog, and I've actually done that. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you the link to this blog right now, and this is what the blog looks like. It's completely searchable online. It's available on Google, and I'm going to put that in our chat window should anybody want to see that. So that is our Sway demo, a quick import, quick working around of those documents with our information that's already available online and on our different information sources, and it's new technology. So our key takeaways are that it's really new media. It's interactive. It's ready for new consumption expectations. I mean, imagine if you are number 5 in line to do a presentation, and everybody's done a boring PowerPoint presentation for a new client or your boss. And now you come in with something like this, and it looks great. It's really slick. You can click on a video when you want to in a presentation. Not only that, at the end of the presentation, you just give a link to your boss and say, hey, here's the information that I just presented. It's all available to you. Wouldn't you look like a rock star? All of this is also a great time-saving solution, which is ultimately what we all want to do because we all want to go home at a reasonable hour. So we can, instead of creating a PowerPoint and then writing a blog post and then creating a report, we can all do that on a unified platform. And this is something that's really, really great for us. All right, let's look at our next piece, which is SharePoint intranets. Well, SharePoint intranets are really, really great. They impose good structure, and they're an excellent idea for organizations because organizations have security. They have standards in terms of how we organize different things. And it's very important to have those things for compliance purposes, for organization purposes. But that's not how necessarily you and I work, is it? Because imagine me having to look for a document in this intranet structure over here. If I wanted to find out information on benefits, well, what category does it actually come under? I do know I need to go into HR because that's what HR benefits are for. So I would go into HR. Would I go into leaving? Would I go into health and support for my benefits? So do I need to scroll down into that area? Well, it turns out benefits come under recruiting, so I need to know that I need to go to recruitment and then to benefits. Or I have to do a search to actually go find that information and then find not just the benefits area, but the right benefits document. And then know the policies and procedures that go around the benefits solution. So actually finding information can be a big problem and is a major problem for us. In fact, this is why a lot of people move into SharePoint, because finding of information from file folders and your directory file structure organizations are very, very cumbersome. In fact, we have some clients in which 2 to 4 people in the organization are just responsible for finding things on a day-to-day basis. And oh boy, that is a job I would not want to have. So let's take a look at what Delve actually is and what Delve does for you. Well, Delve is your personal intranet. Where SharePoint is corporate, it's controlled and centralized, Delve is a little different. It is not just personal in that you can go search for things, you can go find the documents that are most popular for you, but Microsoft has an artificial intelligence algorithm in the back that finds the documents that are most relevant to you and shows you those documents up front. It uses the Office graph technology in order to do this for anybody out there who wants to nerd out. And the cool thing about this is it is secure in that if you don't have access to the document, you shouldn't be able to see it. So it's security trimmed and it's showing you only things that are most relevant to you. So let's go ahead and take a look at a quick demo for the Delve solution. All right. This is our beautiful FMT intranet. This is something that all organizations really, really should have. If you don't already have it, highly, highly recommend that you go ahead and take a look at it. All of you folks who are on Office 365 are now part of Delve. It's quite simply, you go to your personal settings over here and you click About Me, and that takes you to your Delve. And Delve tells you a little bit about yourself, but more importantly, it also tells you about the documents that you've been working on. It tells you who you're working with most closely, and also the documents that may be most relevant to you. I can go to my home page again and see all of my documents. I can see all of the people that are working on, but this is a really, really cool feature of Delve, which are known as boards. Boards are kind of like your own personal way of organizing and tagging information. Today, if you have an intranet, and imagine you want to create your own organization inside of your intranet, you actually have to go out there and request this information either from a PM or from IT, which is not ideal, but you would have to request this type of organizational structure to organize the documents for the projects that you're working on. And this can be a cumbersome thing for you to do. Now with Delve, that's a little bit easier for you. What you can do is organize your Delve according to boards. So what I've done here is I've gone ahead and created a Delve board for nVerge, which is what we're doing right now. We have an nVerge agenda, the nVerge blog, and the nVerge training registrations for a document on here. So how do you actually add something to this board in order for me to organize this? Well, quite simply, it works on search. So I can go ahead and search for nVerge and decide that this is a document that I actually want to tag for nVerge. Well, that one already is tagged, so I'm going to tag this particular agenda and add it to my board for nVerge. And quite simply, that document has now been added to my nVerge session. So if I go back to my board, I will now see that there are 4 documents that are added to my board. How does this actually help you on a day-to-day basis? Well, firstly, you don't have to go out there and request for things in terms of organizing your own documents and how you're working on a day-to-day basis. This is very, very powerful, and it is really a big time cost, because as much structure as an organization can place on you, you at the end of the day work in a very unique way. So Delve is really a great solution for you to organize things and work things your own way. More importantly, Delve is also available for you on mobile. Now on mobile, it's profile page centric, just as Delve is, because it is centered around you. It is your own intranet. So you can search for people, you can read their blogs, you can also find the different documents that people are working on right from your mobile. So it is really a very powerful tool for you to use, not just on your corporate intranet as you're working on a day-to-day basis, but on your phone if you need to send something to people. Well, now the document finds you instead of you finding the document, and you can share that with different people. The other cool thing about Delve is if your folks have invested or are thinking of investing in the Office 365 platform, is Delve is not just SharePoint centric. It takes a look at your OneDrive as well, which is really great, because at the end of the day, you don't just work in the SharePoint silo, you also work on OneDrive for Business. And with all of this all of these documents put together in one place, you now have your own personal intranet, and that's what I really, really love about Delve. The other awesome piece about Delve that I really, really want to get into is Delve Analytics. This is really an astounding piece. If you have invested in E5 or are thinking of investing in the E5 solution with Office 365, Delve can now show you what you're doing on a daily, weekly basis. Meetings, emails, focus hours, and if you're working after hours. This is very helpful, because how many of us have gone into work and have been sitting there and have had meeting after meeting after meeting, and your boss comes in or your client comes in and says, hey, that stuff that we were supposed to do hasn't been done yet. And you're trying to figure out why these things haven't been done. Now you have a good way of understanding or telling other people that, hey, I've had meetings back to back to back. Of course I wasn't able to work on that. So can you protect me from some of these meetings, boss? Or you can say, hey, we've scheduled all of these different meetings with our clients. I wasn't able to work on that. The after hours is also something that's really cool, because now you can go ahead and tell people, not just I worked after hours, but these are the number of hours I've worked after hours, or these are the focus hours that have been available to me for actually being able to work on the things that I was hired to do. So let's take a quicker or a deeper dive into the analytics that are available to you. The first thing that's available to you is, how do you actually work? How do you collaborate this week? Because that's what we do on a day-to-day basis. That's why we come to the offices. Your interaction with you and the manager, that's something that you need to know and keep track of, but is also something great for your manager to know and keep track of. Who are you working with on a daily basis, and who are you losing touch with? These are great things for you to know. Do you have a response time to your manager? Again, these analytics are captured on the back end and are available to you. Now, these are available to you in that they're personal to you. If you choose to show them to other people, that's definitely something you can do, but they're private. An administrator cannot see this information. Your boss cannot see this information. This is information that's linked directly to your profile and your profile alone. Let's take a deeper dive into meeting hours, because we all love meetings and we all know all of our meetings are productive. Well, some of them are not. As we all know, in this particular case, Sarah Davis has had 16 hours on meetings on average. It's gone up 2 hours. Meeting quality is something that's very important to know. And the way meeting quality is judged is, are there follow-ups on the meetings? What is the duration of the meeting? So these analytics are taken into consideration when it shows you, okay, are repeated meetings that happen weekly or on a daily basis, are they any good? And you can come to a decision to see, should these meetings happen or should they not happen? Is there any way for you to optimize? And in terms of optimizing your daily and your weekly schedules, Delve Analytics is really, really great. Which brings us to our next point, focus hours. A focus hour, as defined in the analytics, is a time slot where you've had 2 hours available for you to work, at least, between meetings or between emails. And this is really great because we found that a 2-hour session is kind of the minimum you need to actually sit and focus and put quality time into your work. Now, if these hours go up or down, your quality of work and your productivity are directly affected. And then we go back into that cycle of being chained to our desks and missing out on family time and kind of dropping our hobbies. We can now take a look at our focus hours and actually have a sound argument in terms of, hey, these are the focus hours that I actually need to get my work done. What can we do to make this better? What can we rejigger to make my focus hours higher so that now I am actually focusing on the productive work that I need to be doing? Finally, email. We spend so much time on email. With email, you now have a Outlook add-in that you get with Delve Analytics that not just reads the email activity that you do, but actually measures, okay, are people reading this email? In that, if I send out an email, are people opening that email? Are these emails being read and replied to? Are there any forwards on these emails? And this kind of gives you a good feedback in terms of the emails that I'm actually working on so hard and so much. What is the overall effect of it? Should I reduce the number of emails that I'm doing? Should I target it differently and therefore be more productive? And these are the questions that you can answer once you have the statistics to actually understand which emails have been read and which emails are not being read, and therefore cutting out some of those emails that are not being read and getting you more of those focus hours to help you be more productive. So from Delve, our key takeaways are, really, it is your personal intranet. Delve makes SharePoint, OneDrive, all of Office 365, including your Outlook, all of that, very person-centric, whereas everything else previously was organization-centric. We're now talking about breaking down those organizational silos, really creating solutions for yourself and working to reorganize with projects and with yourself instead of with the organizational hierarchy that's available to you. In terms of time save, now with Delve, the documents that are most relevant to you will find you. And it is a very, very good tool, for me at least, to use on a day-to-day basis, because sometimes I don't know necessarily where in the hierarchy a particular document is. But now the document that I'm working on a daily basis or on a weekly basis, or some of my colleagues are working on, find me instead of me having to find it. Finally, with analytics, I can now analyze what I'm doing on a given week or on a given month or on a day, and really find out where I can trim that work that is not necessarily helping me in my productivity. So these are key takeaways from Delve. I strongly recommend that you folks go out there and take a look at Delve, especially those of you who are in Office 365, because that's something that you can really use on a day-to-day basis, and we're really here to help you take full advantage of the tools that you already own. Which brings us to mobility. How many of us have VPN issues? If, again, I was in a room today, I would believe I would get everybody's hands up. Me personally, I do not like VPNs because I've had so many instances where I've been working on something and the VPN has disconnected. And then I've had to restart the machine because for some reason the VPN does not like me to just go ahead and reconnect to the VPN, but I have to actually restart my whole machine to get my network to reset. If I'm on a VPN, I probably need to use a company device. I cannot use the devices that I'm using, like my tablet and my cell phone. And again, that's a problem because I don't want to lug my big laptop around everywhere, or I don't want to take my Surface everywhere. I sometimes just have my phone with me and I need to answer a quick email or send a quick document around. Personally, because I'm going to use my new dad story here, I have a 1-month-old, and I get a huge number of emails, and sometimes on those emails I need to send out documents. What mobile really allows me to do is it allows me to work with my phone whenever I want to. So instead of going into the office and having 400 emails available to, or in front of me, I now can work on my phone and get rid of at least 50% of those emails and read only those that are relevant to me and work on those. We all have modern lifestyles as well. We don't necessarily work in the office anymore. We have remote offices that we want to work on. Sometimes we're in the field. Hey, I'm in LA right now. I hope some of you can come to us. We're right by the beach over here, 10 minutes away. Wouldn't it be great to be able to work on the beach? We want to be able to access all of our devices, work on any device of our choice, whether it's a Windows phone, an iPhone, or a Android phone, on a Surface, on a laptop, whatever it is. We want to work how we want to work because that's what makes us more productive. We don't want technology to come in the way of things. We want it to help you do things better. So what do you get with Office 365 and SharePoint? Well, you have a unified Office 365 experience with mobile today. It's really cool because you get this with SharePoint, with OneDrive. You have your Outlook and your calendar as well. When you click on your sites area with Office 365, you can now see all the sites that are available to you and the sites that you're following. So if you want to go ahead and take a look at any particular document in there, well, quite simply, you just go to that site and you go to the document library that we always do inside of SharePoint. Now this is also available to you on OneDrive. So it's a very, very good and simple tool for you to use. A great use case for you folks is something that I have worked with sales organizations, because the feedback that I get is that most sales decisions and relationships are not made in front of an office when you actually give a document to somebody to sign, but most of those decisions are actually made before, outside the office, maybe over lunch, maybe at a golf game. Wouldn't it be really, really nice to have that final purchase order ready and signable right out of your mobile phone or right off your tablet while you're at lunch? Or wouldn't it be really great to have all that sales collateral and marketing collateral available to you so you can tell your client, hey, you want to take a look at that new product we're working on? Well, here, just let me pull it up on my phone. I'll go to the appropriate document library and I pull together the PowerPoint presentation, and there you go. You now have that particular document or that PowerPoint presentation available to you directly off your phone. Me personally, hey, I like rocking my newborn and working on my phone on one hand, and therefore I'm not missing baby time because he's still tiny, and that really helps me be productive and also put my baby time in. So this is what we have with SharePoint on your mobile. You can also switch to PC view, of course, if you have a mobile-ready intranet that you've invested in, and that's something we at FMT do as well. We go ahead and create mobile enabled intranets for our clients that really, really help. So we're not there yet in terms of being completely productive. We're kind of that guy on the left. He's actually Prince Harry. We're not Usain Bolt yet, but we're getting there. We're getting a little bit closer to becoming Usain Bolt, and this next step is going to make you become that productivity champion. But let's take a look at our mobile key takeaways over here. It's multi-device. You don't need VPN anymore. You can work anywhere you want, and you can bring your own device. This is our big problem, the process problem. How many of us have come into the office on our first day of work and HR pops, on our desk, boom, here is a 2-inch binder. Here, remember all of this. These are all of the policies and procedures that you need to know. And guess what? We do not. And it frustrates HR, and we got to go ask somebody when we actually need to know what to do, how to do it. Our manual processes, we all have manual processes in that those processes are in someone's head. Hey, Sarah, how do I do this? Well, Sarah is now going to tell you how to move, get approval for whatever you want to do, maybe a new purchase order or maybe getting a new mouse. And she actually has to sit you through how to get these things done. Wouldn't it be really great to not have those things, be a burden to you and have those things take up more space in the brain than we already need to, have in there. I get my wrist slapped every now and again because I need to know the rules, but I don't know all the rules. And I'm guessing all of us have got our wrist slapped every now and again in terms of having to know the rules, but we don't already know the rules. Automating is what we really need to do. It takes care of 2 of our needs. One, it defines a process for everybody inside of the organization. And this is really, really cool because now you have a process that is from start to finish. You don't really have to worry about what's going on in the middle, otherwise known as the sausage making process, but you need to know where you are in the row. And wouldn't it be great to actually get notifications in terms of, hey, this is what I need to do today in the process. I don't need to know the entire process start to finish. I just need to know that on this particular purchase order, I need to give an approval. Or on this particular purchase order, I need to go ahead and put in a sign. And that's all I need to do. The first piece of workflow we're going to look at is the SharePoint out-of-the-box workflows. It is really great in that you can automate your processes. So let's take this process, for example. We have 5 steps. So the first step in order to do that would be to go ahead and create those 5 steps inside of SharePoint Designer. You would then go ahead and inside of those 5 steps create your actions, which are, okay, let's go ahead and set up certain actions inside of this project. And you would then go out and build each of these steps with the actions that are necessary. A given step can have one action. It can have 20 actions. It's all available to you inside of the out-of-the-box SharePoint workflow. For those of you who have already noticed this, and I'm sure all of you have, well, it's great in that it's free and it's out of the box. It's not very intuitive because it's not very visual. So this is something that we at FMT can come and help you out, and this is something that we do on a daily basis in order to help you build these workflows out and build those processes out from a day-to-day basis. But there is a better solution out there that allows you to have this type of visual, complete automated tool. And that is this Nintex solution that we have. So the Nintex form and workflows is a visual process automation tool. It is really, really great because now anybody who knows how to draw a process diagram can create a workflow. It is editable by a business analyst. It is really great for large processes. The only con about it is that it's a separate product from the SharePoint Online, but the return on investment that you get, especially for large processes like onboarding and offboarding, and we've seen some processes that take everybody from onboarding to HR to offboarding all the way through with Nintex. I mean, we're talking about hundreds of steps here that cross almost all departments in any given organization, and all of that can be done in a nice visual way with Nintex solutions. So let's go ahead and take a look at what some of those solutions would look like. So a quick workflow demo on that. So one of the things that we all deal with on a daily basis, those of us who are managers, we get leave requests. Whether it's a stomachache, whether it's a family vacation, uh, sometimes people need to take off. Well, this is something that we as an organization get a lot in terms of requests to automate these things, because leave requests are a productivity burden. They 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 create a problem, because if someone leaves, you have to reorganize things. You have to make sure that people are correctly notified. Maybe you put that information on a calendar. Wouldn't it be really nice for me to get a leave request and automatically notify if the leave request has been approved, and to put that on a quick calendar? That's a quick and simple thing for me to do. Not very intuitive on the SharePoint out-of-the-box workflows. Uh, Certainly something you don't want to do manually, because it's very simple and easy to do, but something that you can do very simply with the Nintex workflows. On Nintex, if you have that as a solution, and this is on Office 365, but you can also have it on premise if that's something that you want to do, you get that Nintex workflow button right here. And what that allows you to do is it goes into this layout, which is again web-based. So I can, as you can see, this is my workflow. As soon as I create an item, it sends an email, and I can go ahead and I can configure it to say what that email is. And in this case, it's sending an email to the person that has created the workflow, and it says, hey, your request, which is the leave type, your request was received. And then it goes ahead and assigns a task to the approver, and the approver can either approve it or reject it. If it's rejected, it goes ahead and sends an email to the originator to say, hey, unfortunately, your leave for Burning Man has been rejected. You need to actually come in, and we can't give you 5 days off for Burning Man because we have a go live that day. Or in the case of an approval, in this case, maybe your boss did allow you to go to Burning Man, and you can go. It goes ahead and creates a list item. Well, what is that list item? That list item is the leave calendar. It goes ahead and creates a calendar item for you, and once that's done, you can go ahead and create an email. Well, let's say we wanted to go ahead and change this. We wanted to go ahead and delete an item. Quite simply, just drag and drop this information in here and delete that item as soon as the email is sent out. So that's something that, as you can see, is quite quick and simple for you to do. It's just a drag and drop of the solution. So that's how a Nintex workflow works. Very, very simple, easy, and intuitive. Dragging and dropping your solutions out there. The actions that are available to you are very, very extensive. You can execute SQL queries if you want to get into that. You can create navigation if you want to do that. You can delete Office 365 items. You can download files, create blog posts, search things. Your logic, you have a lot of logic available to you. You can do branching, filtering, loops, do if statements. You can also do social, in that you can link directly to Facebook if you want to. This is really great for, again, nonprofit organizations or people out there who really need to market their products out there. LinkedIn posts you can do directly from here. You can do Twitter and Yammer, all of that good stuff. Again, this is out of the box with what you get from Nintex. It's a great tool. Can't recommend it more. So let's say that after a leave is done, you want to tweet that on Twitter. Hey, I just got leave. Quite simply, drag and drop on there. I personally wouldn't do it, but hey, some of you may want to do it out there, especially the millennials who are on the call. So again, quick and simple way for you to work and automate things. So what are our key takeaways from workflows? Now, in terms of workflows, this this kind of takes you away from the realm of let's make us more productive, but let's make everyone around us more productive. We can absolutely make the workflows personal, in that if I wanted to do Twitter, if I wanted to make blog posts, I can automate all of that, and it's a great, great, great tool for me to use. organization-wide, in terms of getting organizations to buy into actually investing in these things, we can demonstrate on a dollars and cents and hourly basis that this by far has the best ROI of all the solutions out there that we've presented so far. The out-of-the-box workflows are easy, and we can actually demonstrate on a spreadsheet how this is going to help you. So there we have it. We have our 5 solutions that we've presented: Sway, Delve, Mobility, and our workflows. I'm going to give you a quick 2 to 3 minutes to go ahead and tell me which one of these solutions was the most useful to you, or which one of these solutions would provide you the greatest time saving in your work life. So there's a poll out there. Please go ahead and answer those polls. So the poll has now been opened. And once the poll is done, we're going to continue this conversation. We have a few more things to talk about. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. All right, SharePoint Workflow seems to be in the lead with Delve and Mobile neck and neck. Nintex Workflows is at 10%, so and we have 0% for Sway right now. Let's see who gives Sway some love. And just so you know, you don't have to be on Office 365 or anything for Sway. You can actually go and sign up for Sway today with any live account. All right, Delve is taking a little bit of a lead from mobile. We now have Delve at 27%. Another 10-15 seconds, I'm going to go ahead and close the poll. So please, let's put our votes in. All right. I'm going to go ahead and close the poll. And we are going to go ahead and push forward over here. So let's close the poll, and now we have our poll results. So let's share those poll results with everybody. And that's what we have for our poll results. So SharePoint Workflows, you get it out of the box. It's free. You can go ahead and implement it today. It really does give you a very, very good return on investment that you can demonstrate and say, hey, our process yesterday took X number of hours, it took X number of people, and therefore it's actually costing our organization so much money. Let's go ahead and make that better and save that money. SharePoint Workflows does a great job at it. Nintex Workflows also does a great job of it. The next one was Delve, which is your own personal intranet. If you have Office 365, go ahead and use it already. It's something that you already own, and we can show you how to work at it better. And then you have mobile. All right, let's take a look at a few more things before we go ahead. So let's take back our time. Let's not make things boring anymore. No more silly old PowerPoint presentations that you have to turn into a document and then you have to turn into a blog, and therefore you have duplication of all of these things to do. Let's make things not boring, make things easier. Give a link to everybody on your blog, and now you can turn that into a report for your boss, and you're good to go. With Delve, the data finds you. It searches through SharePoint, it searches through OneDrive. You can also, hey, tell your boss when he says, hey, how come things haven't been done? Well, you can say, well, I've been in meetings all day. Look at my Delve Analytics. You're the one who's been setting all these daily meetings and weekly meetings. So, get me out of it and I can get things done for you. Mobility, now you don't have to take your laptop out every time when you're working on things. You can take your phone, you can take your tablet and work on this. You can for me, play with my kid when I'm reading my email on my cell phone. It's a really, really good thing for me to do. Finally, this is what's going to get you the most time back. Automation, automation, automation. Use it. I know all of you really like the SharePoint out-of-the-box workflows. It's a really, really great tool to use. The Nintex workflows are also great for you folks to use who don't have the ability to go ahead and create those workflows in a non-visual tool. So this is what we want to go for. We want to go for gold. We want all of those gold medals for all of us out there. Delve, Sway, Mobility, SharePoint workflows, they're free. Go ahead and use them. Nintex workflows and SharePoint workflows, you get massive ROI on these. So you own these products, please go ahead and use them. We all start at the same time. We all come to work at the same time. We're here to give you an edge. We're here to make sure that you're the one who is getting across and being the most productive out there and getting that goal. So please, any way that we can help you get across that goal, we'd be happy to do that. I'm Pramod Nathan. You can email me or anybody, anyone over here at FMT, and we'd be happy to help you get more productive and get that gold medal in the Olympics of your personal office lives. So thank you so much for attending. I believe I have a few questions here that I need to answer, so let me go ahead and take a few of those. All right, my first question was related to, let's see, Office switch. Okay, my first question actually has to do with Delve. So the question was, if you don't have the E5 Office 365 solution, can you still use Delve Analytics? So that's a great question. The E5 solution that you get actually is a full Office solution that you have for Office 365. And what that means is that it incorporates your email, your phone, and all of those systems into one. What you the question though had to do with Delve Analytics, and can you get Delve Analytics without E5? Yes, you can. It's an add-on that you would be purchasing for your Office 365 solution that will allow you to have those type of solutions. Okay, I have another question that has to do with mobile views, in that do you actually charge, do you have to pay for the mobile views? And the answer is twofold. The first one is that you get a mobile view out of the box, which works really well, but it's not visually very pleasing. It is very, very functional though. The other solution that we do for our clients is we create a solution that is responsive or adaptive, and that creates your intranet that is a intranet that works on all devices. So you can go either way. You can either go with the out-of-the-box SharePoint mobile views, or you can go with your responsive solution that is custom created for your organization. Okay, we have some other questions over here. How do you add a document to Sway? The way to add a document to Sway is there is an import button that you get as soon as you go to Sway, and you would click on that import button, and you could import any of your Office documents on there, whether it's Word, PowerPoint. Well, I don't think you can do Excel, but you can definitely do Word and PowerPoint. Well, I have time for one more question, so I'm going to take that. Have we ever done integration with workflows and SAP by design? Well, the Nintex workflows and the SharePoint 2013 and 2016 workflow engines are workflow engines that are separate from the SharePoint product itself. What this allows you to do is that it actually allows you to use those workflow engines for any solution that you may want, whether it's SAP by design or any of the solutions out there. All right, I believe those are the questions that have been asked. So if you have any questions that I haven't answered, or you wake up in the middle of the night and you say, hey, I need to ask this question, go ahead and write us an email or send us a call, and we'd be happy to answer those. So thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And that's the end of my session. Really appreciate all of your time and help.